Hi YouTube and welcome to my channel. My name is Patrick. I am sick of AI being shoved into absolutely everything. Like, did you know Copilot is in NOTEPAD now? Yeah, NOTEPAD on Windows has AI built into it. It's almost as if somebody wants to collect everything that you type and think to sell to advertisers and data brokers, but who would gain to benefit from that? That's a mystery that we'll never solve. But today I am going to solve the problem that I have with AI. I'm not really going to solve it, I'm just going to talk at you about it. So if you're ready for a rant about AI, you're in the right place. So with all of that being said, let's dig right in. So I have a problem with part of the way AI is being presented to us. Big tech wants us to think it's the next big thing and it's going to revolutionize everything. They want it to be something on the same level of importance as the first iPhone and the internet. However, I just don't think that that future is here yet. You see these big tech companies, Apple for example, are releasing ads about how useful their AI is. However, even in the ads, they never seem to do anything useful. For example, there's one where a guy walks up to a lady with a dog, and instead of asking the nice lady, "Oh, what kind of dog is that?" he crouches down with his phone in front of the dog and scans it. And it's like, you could have just asked her what breed the dog is. You didn't have to be weird. But that's the thing, they're trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist. And they're promising things that don't exist too. Another example from Apple is that they advertised this new Siri personal context, and it just doesn't exist. Like, it's not a thing. It's been over a year, and they never released it. I've been told that they're still working on it, and Tim Cook said that he's happy with the progress they're making. But I think they're spinning their wheels. But that's just one example of the over-promising and under-delivering that's happening here. Like, they advertise these AI models doing things that they absolutely cannot do, and we're just letting them get away with it for some reason. So there's a few tentpole problems with AI, the first being the cost. It is prohibitively expensive to create an AI model, and it is incredibly expensive to maintain an AI model. They are not cheap to run, they are very expensive to both create and operate. Why is this a problem? Well, because companies want to sell it to you for a low monthly fee. The problem is, those fees never actually cover the cost of the AI models. You see, AI is being kind of sold as a loss leader right now. The big tech companies don't actually make a lot of money off your AI subscription. They might break even in some circumstances, but they use it as a way to lock you into their ecosystem and make their profits elsewhere. At the end of the day, AI brings in less in revenue than it costs to operate, and investors are never going to like that on a balance sheet. And so what we're going to see very soon and very quickly is the enshittification of AI. Google is already starting to put ads in its Gemini Google AI Assistant search, and I think that's a hallmark of things to come. We're going to see AI get monetized hard. The fees are going to go up to use it. There's going to be ads all over it. It's going to slowly but surely become a system that nobody wants to use. Another issue with these large language models is their context window. You see, the AI models can only remember so much at one time. And so what happens is you'll have maybe a long conversation, maybe you're processing a large document with AI, and it'll start forgetting stuff that was at the top as it works its way to the bottom. The context windows just aren't large enough to be really useful. I need to be able to throw a whole book, multiple books into this thing, and have it give me answers based on the text that I submit to it. And with current hardware, the limitations are what they are. You can't have a huge context window. And my third tentpole issue with AI is the training data. You see, the training data has to come from somewhere. These first few AI models, they've gotten lucky. They were able to train on the entire internet before anybody knew what was going on. Great for them, bad for everyone else. Now what we're seeing is companies that have a lot of data, a lot of human conversation data, They're selling access to that to these AI companies. So it's no longer a case of you get to scrape the whole internet and build your model. Now, if you want to start your own model, you have to go pay all these big companies for access to their data. What the problem with this is that it's going to prevent new players from breaking into the market. And when new players can't break into the market, competition suffers. And when competition suffers, nothing happens because the nothing happens because the US cannot for the life of them follow through with an antitrust lawsuit. And you know what? I've got a fourth tentpole problem. I'm going to throw this one in here. AI art. AI art is not art. No way. Anything that you create with an AI model, that is not art. Poetry that you have it write is not poetry. Images that you have it spawn are not art pieces. It is painful because we were all sold this idea that the AI would do the monotonous, boring stuff, and we'd get to focus on the creative work. Now there are people in the creative industries all across the world who are being laid off in mass because they've been replaced with AI. It's not what we wanted, guys. Art is for the humans. Art is for beings of intellect. That sounded so fucking pretentious. Art is art. Art is made by people. It's not made by people. There's exceptions to that, but you get the point. Okay, and that's enough about the tentpole problems with AI. Let's talk about one of my personal gripes, and that is that the AI is just not really useful. It has a tendency to hallucinate things. I've had the most experience with Microsoft 365 Copilot, the paid business version. It integrates with Microsoft 365. It can see all my emails, all my messages, all my files, all my data. Great for a business use case where there's no expectation of privacy. But anyway, I've been using Copilot in that context pretty heavily, and my coworkers have as well. And we've all kind of came to the conclusion that it just makes things up too often to be legitimately useful. You know, I'll try to tackle different projects with AI, try to be innovative, you know, and it just falls flat on its face due to the numerous issues that I've already listed. And so the biggest issue right now with AI is that it just doesn't, it's not useful. It's not. I'm going to say it. AI is not useful for most things. AI is great for writing code. It's great for aiding in the creative process. It does not replace the creative process, but it can aid in it. You know, developers, AI, that makes a lot of sense. You know, graphic designers, AI, maybe to get some inspiration. But for general office workers, it just doesn't have a lot of value. Like for your average knowledge worker, it just doesn't bring to the table what we're being told it does. All right, so where are we going to be in 5 years? Where is AI going to be? Well, first of all, the AI bubble is going to pop. And when the bubble pops, well, we can look at previous examples to get an idea of what's going to happen. So the dot-com bubble, that popped. Millions of average Americans lost all of their wealth. And then all that debt was sold to the rich guys, and all the rich guys with the companies got bailouts with tax money. So basically, we're going to pay for these companies to break the economy, and then they're going to extract wealth from us for years to follow. I'm no expert, but that seems a little too... It seems a little too easy to not be deliberate. Allegedly. I'm not saying it's a conspiracy. I'm just saying that this seems to happen every time. And we're having these economic bubble pops more often in the last few decades. Maybe we should do something about that. Who knows? Ooh, don't crucify me. Crazy talk. Doing something about the economy. But look, the AI bubble is going to pop. And we're going to see a few really good examples of AI used in a way that makes sense. That means we're going to see like AI-assisted development, AI-assisted design, AI-assisted, etc., etc. It's going to be a niche thing, not a generalist tool. And I think that it will be very useful in the circumstances where it makes sense. Another thing I'd like to see is a true AI virtual assistant, something that could control the various things around my house. I know Gemini is getting closer to something like that, but I do think that would be a novel implementation of AI, as long as it doesn't try to kill me.